Hi, it's Janet Wakeland with remarkablycreated.com. In today's One Take Wonder video, we are going to look at the new Many Merry Stars kit from Stampin Up. This is a new release as of October 20th for the public, and it is available while supplies last. So you're going to want to get your hands on one or two of these so that you have them around for holiday decorating. With the kit, you're going to be able to make these really pretty stars, and I will give you a little tip on how to turn them into packages or into ornaments. They're great. You'll be able to use them to decorate centerpieces on your table. I've seen them on a mantle. They were really beautifully done that way. The kit includes everything that you need to make 26 stars. There are 5 different sizes that have a variety, and then one huge star that you'll see in just a second. And then tons and tons of fun embellishments. You'll actually have plenty left over that you'll be able to use them on cards or in Project Life or something like that. So here's just one of the boxes. I'll show you another tip too if you're thinking that you're not a red and green person and maybe you don't do traditional Christmas colors. I'll show you another idea so that they don't have to be red and green. But again, you can just get an idea of some of the fun embellishments that are part of this kit. Here's a larger box. You can see the pretty flat little wooden embellishment. There's another one, cute little tag. Tiny little one. Oops, I got to use tighter adhesive. I bumped them trying to get them around, but you got the cute little bow, more little wooden embellishment. We'll set that aside so I can fix it up. There's a tiny little one, real sweet and cute. Again, just showing you the different sizes there. You can see that wooden embellishment again. Here's another one for you. And then here's the really big one. Here's my hand in the middle of it so you can kind of see the size. Actually, I can put both hands on it so you can see the size, and that will be an awesome centerpiece on your table this holiday season. So that's kind of fun. I bet you could also put a hole in the bottom of it and put it on the top of a tree as well. So let's take a look at the kit itself so that you can see. It may be hard to fit the entire thing in the screen, but it does come in this oversized jumbo Ziploc bag, which I know you'll find great uses for afterwards, and will hold all of the pieces together while you're working on it. Some of the supplies that I found came in handy to have while I was working on this kit was our tombow liquid glue, a bone folder, and then the paper piercing tool, and you'll see why in just a second. But those 3 things came in handy while I was working on this kit. So let me pull this off the screen for 1 second, and let me take all of the pieces out for you, and then you can see everything that is part of this amazing kit. I'm going to start to bring it back into view again. Thank you for staring at my blank tablecloth for just a minute. We'll get all the goodies out. And I love that everything's pre-cut, pre-scored, pre-done. It's just a great day of crafting with you and your kids. It could be one of your December Advent activities that you make star boxes, so that'd be kind of fun. So in the kit, you have your nice flat wooden embellishments. They are a little fragile, so I encourage you to handle them with care. You may want to, if you're working with your children, put the adhesive on and help them with that. But they are great. They'll also be great in Project Life because they're very lightweight and very flat. So it'll be great embellishment on your scrapbook pages. It has your gold baker's twine, which will be wonderful. Has lots of little die-cut banners, pennant pieces, tags. So you could use them on the stars, or you can also decorate your own packages with those. It has the pieces here to make these really cute little bows. And a tip, this is where your bone folder will come in handy. You want to at least curl them just a little bit, and then when you put your glue dot on, it'll help like that. And what you're going for is a little bow that looks like this. So it's a 3-dimensional bow, and you have all the pieces, and it does have instructions, and I'll show those to you. But if you curl that a little bit, and there's your stars. Then you have the stars that are the different boxes. We'll set those aside and come back to them. You have the large banner piece that you saw the Merry and Bright on, so that's part of it. And we can just take the star out of its wrapper. You have, like I said, the die-cut stars, so here's our really big one that is part of this. Someplace in here you go, you have self-adhesive laser cut pieces. This is where the Merry and Bright came from, so they're laser cut. Merry and Bright and lots of stars, so fun for decorating. You can see where you can get real creative. And then in this package here, we have our gold glimmer box stars. And, well, that's where the paper piercing tool come in handy. So when you can't find the opening, You have your, again, your pieces. So there's the pieces for the box, and you'll see how those all come together. And you have your stars, lots and lots of gold stars, and you saw those on my boxes. And then again, a lot more laser die cut pieces. And it's hard to tell on here, but that's where the words joy are. There's a big ampersand, the word wishes, tons and tons of stars. So you'll be able to. These will require some adhesive, and you'll want to use the liquid tombow glue to put these onto your project. So to assemble the boxes, first what you have here is you have full color instructions. You have a picture of all of the boxes and the possibilities for decorating them, so that if you don't want to think, you can just simply create just what you see here exactly like they're done for you. You will need your bifocals. I should have had that as one of the things that's required because the print is a little small. But here's a picture for the box, a picture for the bow, some ideas for that, and then on the back, some close-up pictures of the boxes with some details of what pieces that they used. So you'll have that. So when you're assembling your boxes, what you're going to want to do is you're going to find the two that have the same print. And so we'll find two that have the same print, and you'll just pop them right out, and they come out really, really well. They're laser cut really nice. You don't have any little tips tearing or anything like that, and it's a really nice sturdy weight cardstock. Now remember what I said, that you could, maybe I don't want this red, I want to embellish them, I want neutral colored stars, I want to do something else with them. You simply flip them over and you use the back side. And here on one of the ornaments that I made for a tree that I'm decorating, I actually embossed the backside with the bright blessing star. So again, you don't have to have red and green stars if maybe you don't have non-traditional colors at your house. Also, this would be great if you're doing like a homecoming prom or something else and you wanted stars for that decoration, maybe even putting this set aside and doing stars for graduation or some kind of other celebratory where you're thinking that somebody's a star. So you've got these two pieces. The next thing that you need to do is you have these pieces here that are pre-scored. They're all cut and they actually have adhesive down the side, and you want to find the piece that has the same pattern. And the other thing that you want to do to check to make sure that you have the right piece is you want to make sure that the straight edge here fits from the point to the valley. So you want to match that up and then to make sure. And then one of the things that I like to do is, even though it's pre-scored, I like to go along it and just fold it back and forth and just kind of get an extra good score on that, and you can actually put a little extra pressure on it. And then the same thing with the tabs. I just like to make sure that they just make it easier to work with, making them a little pliable. And so I just like to go in and I like to fold them. If you're going to make these an ornament, and let me grab a punch here. If you're going to make them an ornament, what you want to do is you want to, before you assemble it, go ahead and take your punch, whichever size hole that you want based on the size string or yarn, twine, ribbon that you're going to put through it. You want to put 2 holes. Now what's going to happen is, because you have these 2 holes, I would start with those, and let's just use, this is where your paper piercing tool comes in handy, is to peel this off. And if you're making this an ornament, you want to make sure that those 2 holes are at a point. And so we're just going to go ahead and you just place that on, and then we'll put it here. And now you have your 2 holes at the top, and you've got your point. So now let me grab a piece that I already pulled all of the adhesive off, just kind of like, you know, Julia Child's in a cooking show. And let's just put one of these boxes together for you so I can give you a couple of other tips. So we're going to go ahead and we'll find our point. You just kind of want to put your, and you're just going to work like that the whole way around. There you go. We'll keep going. And we'll get this side in. And there, I'm sure will be other videos and other tips and ways. I love with crafting that there's multiple ways to accomplish the same end result. And I always ask that if you have a tip to make anything easier, that you share back. We all learn by sharing our great tips. And that's part of the community of crafting that makes it fun. So there I've got the base side, and then this is where the bone folder comes in. Just want to give it a great rub, just like this. Now maybe you don't want stars that are just going to sit on your mantle or maybe hang on your tree. So another great idea, let's go ahead and take this last little tip off here. Give you some other ideas and for using these boxes, is I can go ahead now with my scissors and this flap up here, I can cut off. I can take this star and place it down inside, and now I have a star candy dish. Or I can also put a battery operated votive in here, and I have little votive cup holders, little votive pillars, or little pillar candles as well too, so I could cut these tabs off. Now what you want to do next is we're going to go around, and I'm just going to fold in a couple of these, and we want to start to put the next layer on. And you can already see where when I peel these off, and what I like to do with my bone folder is get my fingers up in there. Okay. And now I can take my star. Grab the wrong piece I was working with. I make sure I have my star. And you can make them different sides if you want. You don't have to match the box up totally. You can find different sides. There's no rules, guys. Just have fun. That's the only rule. And so you've got the piece on, and I'm just going to work my way around the box. Now, if you want to put a treat in here, you're going to want to put your treat in before you seal it up, or you're going to want to X-Acto it somehow so that you can create a flap and lift it up. But this would be a really cute advent set since there are 25 boxes that are a smaller size, and then of course the one really, really large box. But you could put 25 treats, 25 slips of paper with activities on them, and just simply let your kids pick whichever star they're attracted to that day and pick the random activity that's in it. But you just want to keep going around, removing your sticky pieces, and then doing your best to get your fingers up under there. It's going to get harder as you go around and giving it a good rub. Because you've got points, you're going to have stress points. And what you may find is you may find that you need to go up under here with a little bit of liquid glue, or stick a little glue dot in there and just kind of really press that down. Because again, you're taking paper and you are bending it on a point, and so that may give you areas of stress. And this adhesive, while a great adhesive, may not be enough to necessarily keep it really, really tight. So here you can see where this box popped up just a little bit, so I'm going to go in with the little extra glue. Especially on the last piece, the very first piece that you put on, you can get in there and really, really rub it and really embed that paper into the adhesive. This second backside's a little harder without smushing your box. So you may want to go back in and add a little bit of that tombow glue. Here you can see I have the holes and I'm getting ready to decorate it. And you'll have to stop by remarkablycreated.com to see the really fun tree that I found at IKEA that I'm hanging these on. So I hope that you have fun with the Merry Messages box. Don't forget to stop by remarkablycreated.com to order them because they are available while supplies last. Thanks, guys. Happy holidays. God bless you.